I think this is my first time doing like a video outside. I'm not gonna lie, it just feels so nice. The weather hasn't been this great for the past couple of days. It's been really cold here. Hi, my name is Ethan. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I wanted to do a video today about the verses that I fell in love with, and I kind of just wanted to share it with you guys in hopes that it may help you too. I sort of made it a goal for me this year to read my Bible more. It was the last couple of months of 2021 where I really saw the significance of reading the Bible daily and sort of taking it to heart. I really realized coming closer to God that in this faith journey, the Bible is essential, bro. Growing up Catholic, this is just a personal experience. I always saw the Bible as rather a symbol to the whole concept of Christianity. I never really took it seriously. I would hear oh, the Lord is my shepherd. Cool. I didn't really take that to heart, if that makes sense. And so really in January, I've been starting to read my Bible more, and there are some verses that I came across that I really want to share with you guys that really helped me a lot in this faith journey. And this video is not just for my fellow Christian brothers and sisters. All is welcome here. So yeah, let's begin. Let's grab our Bibles, our Bible apps. The first verse that I wanted to share with you guys is 2 Timothy 1:7. It says, "For the Spirit that God has given us does not make us timid. Instead, His Spirit fills us with power, love, and self-control." The version for my Bible that I'm currently reading right now is, I think, today's English version, but I've been going around reading different versions, and I think it's the New International Version that says that God does not give us the spirit of fear. I remember reading that verse for the very first time, and all I could say, it was just very empowering for me. I'm very much a people pleaser, and I just get scared a lot with how people think of me and people's judgments about me. I've always been like that ever since I was a kid. I feel like with this verse, however, it sort of reestablishes this sense of love that God chooses to give to us. It sort of reassures us that it's not God who gives us this spirit of fear. When you're scared to do something good, I feel like that's your time to go. To be honest, I was a little hesitant to do this video, and right now sitting here filming this video, I'm kind of just worried about how it'll turn out. But I feel like this verse just reminds me that there's really nothing to be afraid of. Something that also really caught my eye in this verse is how it mentions that His Spirit gives us self-control. Sometimes I feel like, especially those in the faith, you're sort of so indulged in sin that you just can't seem to control yourself. And for me, for a while, I just felt so discouraged and so I can't control myself. I keep on hurting God. I just feel like this verse ultimately just reestablished that sense of strength that you shouldn't give up. Next verse is Galatians 6:9, and it says, "So let us not become tired of doing good, for if we do not give up, the time will come when we will reap the harvest." For me, the whole concept of reaping the harvest and bearing spiritual fruit, for a while that really didn't make sense to me, and I don't know, I just didn't really see the significance of it for a while. I feel like in the last year, that's when I really started to understand the concept of reaping what you harvest. From what I understand, this is kind of like a metaphor sort of to describe either the consequences or the rewards of your actions. I've seen in my own life that there are things that come with giving into bad stuff, whether that be holding on grudges to people or cursing or lying. Personally, I can relate this to not willing to forgive people. I've definitely held grudges for a while, especially those who have passed, mainly because I didn't really have the chance to say what I had to say to them. And so holding on to that, I sort of saw how there are some repercussions to that. You just always feel angry and not willing to forgive or love or move on from that. I sort of fell in love with this verse because it kind of gave me hope that if you sort of turn away from that whole mentality, and you just follow God and what He has for you, ultimately, in the end, it'll all be worth it, and you'll see. The third verse is Genesis 19:26. This is kind of like a statement, sort of, but it says, "But Lot's wife looked back and was turned into a pillar of salt If you don't know the story of Lot and his family, essentially God saw something in Lot's family, and he wanted to save Lot's family from the destruction of two cities. I think it was Sodom and Gomorrah. So allowing the family to go out while he's like getting at it with his city, guided by angels, Lot's family was ordered not to look back. However, Lot's wife was like, no, I'm gonna look back. And then when she did, homegirl turned into a pillar of salt. So I think there was just something that really stood out to me when reading that. The whole concept of looking back, the Lord definitely revealed to me, like, yeah, that's what you do sometimes. Like I said, for me, sometimes for a while I wasn't really willing to let go, whether that be the past or my regrets or my mistakes. You know, I always dwell in it, and even like the wrongdoings that people have done to me, like I always dwell in it. And in all, yes, it, you know, doesn't do you good, but I don't know, there's just sort of this like mentality I had that, oh, I need to remember this, I need to hold on to this. I feel like with Lot's wife, when you turn back, you are literally staying in that moment, you feel? Or that be looking back to a particular sin or people in your life that really are toxic and aren't good for you, or just, you know, like your past. You stay in that moment, you stay with those people, you stay in that sin when God has like removed you from that situation, you know? Really realizing last year, like, God isn't against you, he's for you. He wants to, you know, better you. And so while God is like removing these stuff from your life, you can't turn back, bro. For me, forgiving myself and other people is honestly like a pretty complex process for me that I've been going through. And I've learned that in a way it's kind of freeing, you know? It feels so much better to just let go, to keep on going, moving forward, not looking back. Because if you keep on looking back, you're gonna eventually stay where you've been, you know, not becoming better. My next verse is in Psalm 37, and it says, "The Lord guides us in the way we should go and protects those who please him. If they fall, they will not stay down because the Lord will help them up." So I kind of mentioned this earlier, but like for a while, a couple weeks ago, I sort of really felt discouraged with my relationship with God and doing good and turning away from sin and just following him, you know? I had these thoughts like, why would God like choose me, you know? And for a while I didn't like God, and for a while I keep on making mistakes, and I keep on going back to what he set me free from, and I'm just so imperfect, you know? I feel like this verse reassures us that it isn't about like, you know, being perfect, because God ultimately, he loves us unconditionally. I heard this in one of the podcasts I was listening to called Create with Kendra, and she mentioned like, as humans, it's sort of unnatural for us to believe in something that we can't see. I mean, the whole concept of faith is trusting in something without actually seeing it or hearing it, you know? I feel like for me, especially last year, I sort of like realized how everything in this world is sort of meaningless, you know? All the worries, what people think of you, your past, it's like all meaningless at the end. I don't know, lately I just saw how I feel like without God, it can definitely get dark. It can be sort of lifeless, but he's always here to help you up when you fall down, you know? He always has his arms out, and when people say, oh, that's weird to think that, I don't know, I just feel like there has to be a God. And honestly, like when I'm with God, whether that be prayer or worship, that's when I'm happiest, you know? Yeah. The next verse is from Isaiah 35:4. "Tell everyone who is discouraged, be strong and don't be afraid. God is coming to rescue you, coming to punish your enemies." Like I said, for a while I've just been so discouraged in my faith, and, you know, continuing to believe and sort of not necessarily be fearful of what's ahead of me. You know, many of my friends already know this about me, but I worry a lot, and especially about the future. I just came to a point where I was like, God, I need some encouragement right now, please. And somehow he revealed these couple of verses to me. I forgot exactly how, but I think one of them was revealed to me through like a TikTok. I was just scrolling through TikTok, and then boom, God, like, you know, answered me. I definitely fell in love with this verse because I felt like in a way it was sort of speaking to me. If you're watching this and you're feeling discouraged, don't be afraid. And, you know, it's easier said than done, but I feel like with God, he comes in with love and peace and joy, especially in times of like pure chaos, and you just feel like life is kicking your butt and you can't seem to get up because that butt kick was pretty harsh. I just became overwhelmed with so many things in my life, and there comes a point where you just can't really control everything, and somehow you just need to like give it up, you know. For me, I would just openly talk about it with God, and that for me is like my therapy. I'm not gonna lie. God sort of offers me this new perspective on like what I'm worried about, what I'm stressed about, what I'm discouraged about. I just feel like I came to a point where I was done feeling discouraged and worried and in this place where it's like I'm not moving forward, and so I wanted to change, you know. I felt like God definitely was able to change that in me when I just asked him. Alright, the last verse I really fell in love with, and it's from Isaiah 35:4. This has to be one of my favorite verses now, and it says, "They will reach Jerusalem with gladness, singing and shouting for joy. They will be happy forever, forever free from sorrow and grief." Alongside with that time of me feeling discouraged, I also felt very, I guess, in like a melancholy state, you feel? I just felt like I was in a valley, and when I mean valley is like, you don't really see anything ahead of you. You're just stuck in this valley, and that's it. You know, you just feel stuck. I mean, we all know this world is so sad and so unfair, and sometimes I just let my thoughts get to me at times. But with this verse, I kind of thought of it as like a reestablishing of hope, you know, that in the end we're all gonna be happy. I don't know, it was quite comforting for me. I plan to definitely read this when I'm sad. For me, there's just this sort of association with that verse, like, yo, everything's gonna be okay in the end. You don't gotta worry about anything. You just gotta keep on going. And when life gets you, you get right back up, trust in God, and in the end, everything will be okay. So yeah, those are the verses that I've fell in love with lately. And I hope to do more videos like these where I just, you know, sit down and talk honestly. I didn't have a script for this video. I just let it flow. And, you know, I really like these type of videos where I just sit down and talk, especially about my faith journey. So if you guys want more videos like these, make sure you like. And it would mean a lot if you subscribed. I hope everyone has a blessed day. And praise God. Yeah. Talk to you soon. Bye.